Yeah. Here we go. We're live. Okay. Sorry for the slight delay there, but problems going on with in our lives for the pair of us, really. But I'm glad to be joined by my old mate Craig from Kent Beer Reviews. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, finally we got round to doing this.
It's been on, it's been off.
yeah, but that's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, we're finally here anyway, and as you can see from the title, we're taking a look at a few legacy beers, beers that got us into mine and Craig's craft journey, I suppose. I know the ones that I've got and the ones that Craig has got. Well, there's a couple that we've both got together, so we'll be doing a little joint review on a few of them. But yeah, if you want to do the introductions, Craig, on what we're going to be having a look at today.
Right. Well, don't know if this is one of the first. I think it was for me. Of the British kind of craft beer scene rather than overseas. We'll get into that later, I guess. Obviously, it's been that the breweries changed a lot. So Beavertown, Gamma Ray. We'll get into it and all that.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah, so we will know that, whatever. But I mean, it's a snazzy looking can still a fantastic artwork.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing changed, I reckon. So quite a snazzy looking sort of top to it. But
it was one of the first wacky cans out there, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, in the UK at least. Yeah, just probably. I don't know if they were one of the first to can or not. Not too sure. I can't remember. But I remember
definitely one of the first London ones. Got to be, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, I had this in bottle before. I've still got the bottles somewhere down in the cellar. It's like, I put them away. I had like 8 Ball and a few other bits and bats. So, but yeah. Waitrose.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much in every supermarket now, to be fair. It's even managed to sort of like move itself into the likes of Tesco's. I know Sainsbury's have stopped it for quite a while, but I mean, originally, I think it was Waitrose and M&S were the first guys to have Beavertown, and it sort of progressed a little bit like Punk, really, where it's pretty much everywhere now.
Yeah, a bit like Heineken.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're taking a look at that one, and then another joint review that we'll do is the classic.
Yeah.
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. That takes some beating even to this day, really, for me. It's very, very consistent, very, very steady beer.
Yeah. So craft beer, probably since 1980. So there's probably a lot of people's OG kind of beer, I think.
Yeah. And then you've got one to take a look at.
I've got this probably predates a couple of the beers I'm going to have today, the Gamma Ray and if I get to it, table beer from Colonel, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. But yeah, this was my first real hoppy cask beer from Dark Star Hophead. So a hoppy golden ale. It's only a 3.8% thing, but and I know the label's fairly recently changed again. Obviously, there are lots happened to this brewery as well since I first had it on cask. But yeah, when I had it on cask, it was just like a white label, really distinctive label. So what's that? Hot? You see hop, and then you think, oh, that's and it's like
pretty good name.
And it's like, oh, that really started my kind of even before craft beer. That started my taste for like real hoppy stuff. So
yeah. And then I'll drink alongside what Craig's got with a can of the Siren Craft Soundwave. Again, one of the first for me. I know I wasn't out of the old core range that they had. I did like Soundwave, but I was more of a Liquid Mistress and Undercurrent sort of guy. I like them beers a little bit more than this one. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it all goes. Interesting to sort of go down memory lane with at least one anyway for me. It's been a long time since having this gamma ray. It's got to be a good couple of years or so. So I think we'll crack on with this. But first, I'll just say hello to everybody in the chat down there. So we've got Mersey Beers. Adam, good evening. Hope you're both well. I hate gardening. Down tools, mate. Down tools.
Get Raggy round.
Yeah, Raggy will do the job for you. JB, evening, Craig and Dean. Evening, John.
Hello, mate.
And James Moore, evening, both. Andy K says, evening, gents. All right, nice pint. Beer reviews. Good evening, guys. Watching from Leitrim Island. Okay, cheers. And Benjamin says, evening, gents. Right, let's go for it then.
Yep. I had a fair few beers yesterday. So I had a fair few beers yesterday afternoon, and I was like, woke up a bit here and there. So I've had all day to sort myself out a bit. So it's quite lively.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
It smells. It's got a bit of a whiff to it, even from here. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it don't smell too bad.
I mean, this was canned in the 9th of April. So they're giving this an 8-month shelf life. So
canned on 8th for the 4th.
8th for yours. Yours is the 8th, mine's the 9th. So there you go. Within a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I got mine from. I think I picked mine up from Sainsbury's. Right. Okay. What we got in your glass then, mate?
I don't know. Yeah, it's more of a chill haze on the glass here. It's quite warm. It's really humid down this part of the world at the moment, and it's pissing with rain and shit. So I'll just take it out of the fridge and it's just steam the glass up a little bit. So there's a slight kind of haze, I guess, like carbonation.
A little cloudy bit of oranginess, isn't it?
Yeah. But it looks all right.
Yeah, don't look too bad.
Surprisingly decent aroma.
Quite hoppy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, nice citrusy, juicy orange. Yeah. Maybe a bit of grapefruit or whatever. Oh, that's why I got the old. Where am I going to put this? It's right. I'll sort this shit out here. I'm trying to find somewhere flat to put this so I can. Right.
So Benjamin says Gamma Ray, I don't think is the beer it was when I first got into craft beer about 5 years ago. Yeah, I mean that's a statement that a lot of people sort of digress to really regarding Beavertown as a brewery. You know, their beers are shadows of their former selves. But I mean, on the nose, it smells pretty inviting, doesn't it? Really.
It smells not too bad, to be fair to it.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're going for the kill, eh?
Yeah, let's go for it. Cheers, mate. Cheers. It's a bit hollow.
Safe, isn't it? Safe beer.
I mean, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a bit. What's the ABV? I don't know what they brought it down.
5.4, isn't it?
5.4, yeah. So I don't even know. So I can't remember the last time I had a Gamma Ray. But
I think it's always been 5.4, hasn't it?
You know what? I can't remember, to be honest. It's been so long.
I think it has. It's like it when I'm drinking it now. When this beer first came out, like 5 odd years ago, I was absolutely blown away by it. What I was trying, it may have been in bottle form then. It may have just moved over to cans, because I know when they first moved over from bottle to can, they had quite a big quality issue, and then they ironed that out. And I was blown away by it. Now it's like Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, you don't know, do you? It's very difficult to. I mean, I'm going back. I first tried this probably. I don't know. I don't even know how old the brewery is now. That's established 2012, 2013, something like that. I can't remember. Time's just
I
like
think,
it's like
I
you
think
think it's.
it was before the Olympics, wasn't it? I think it was before the Olympics.
So that's 2012. So maybe 2011 then, I guess. I remember
2010,
it.
2011.
I remember it was in bottles, and
Mm.
it was just amazing. All their beers were amazing. Then they were new. Um, I seem to remember in the bottle it was a lot hazier than this. I might be wrong. So I'm pretty sure they had like sediment in the bottle and stuff like that. Obviously now it's more like kind of commercial now. And there's hardly
Yeah,
anything. There's nothing in the can at the bottom of the can or anything like that. So, but it was just one of the most hoppiest beers, along with. I mean, there was a few breweries at that time for me. It was it was Beavertown, Colonel, and Weirdbeard. They were the three craft beer breweries that I spent about 40 quid on about, I don't know how many beers it was, 4, 5, 6 beers, and I was like, Jesus, I've spent 40 quid on 6
yeah,
beers, you know, shit myself.
yeah.
I got them, I've got them now, and cracked one of them open a bottle, and it was just like, what is that? That is just, I've had nothing like that before.
Yeah, I think it'd be really, really interesting for somebody that is just getting into the journey like we did way, way back, and to actually have somebody standing next to you trying something like this for the first time to see what they thought, and does that mirror what we thought back then, or is it the beer's changed, or our palates have just become that strengthened? It's a funny one, isn't it? We always sort of go back to this,
Yeah, I try not to say, oh, the beer's changed, it's been taken over, blah blah, it's changed, they've ruined it. There's one or two breweries that have just been left alone. I think Fuller's is one,
Yeah,
for sure. But then I've not had any of the other ones that have been taken over, so I don't really know, like For Pure or Magic Rock or or them breweries. But so I don't really know if they've changed. I don't think they have. But what I have had from Beavertown, they have changed, and that's fairly recent. It's not been over years. It just happens to be like in the last 2 or 3 years since takeovers and stuff.
yeah.
I don't like
Going
saying,
back,
yeah,
going back to neck oil as well. I know it's a session beer and relatively low ABV, but again, and that was another beer when I think that might have been one of the very first lives that I did way back with Peter, and that was a can of neck oil, and it was like, this is pretty decent for a session beer,
yeah.
and that is probably the most recent Beavertown beer that I've had, other than this now, and it was like piss water.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to, more I'm drinking it, I'm getting a slight metallic kind of taste from it. The more I don't know if it's just me, my palate, or whatever. I don't know. There's just a slight edge, but I don't know. It's it's a good step.
For me,
It's a good start off beer, isn't it, for people?
yeah. A perfectly drinkable beer, but at the same time, very, very forgettable. There's nothing offensive about it for me. There's no nasties in there or anything. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's being disrespectful. A regional IPA. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just everywhere, isn't it? Now it's just. I remember paying £5 a can for this in a pub once. You know,
Well, you'd want your money back now, wouldn't you, if you paid a fiver for that?
I'd be pissed off now if I paid. I wouldn't pay it. You know, just. I mean, you see cans in pubs now. I don't know what they'd be, but I mean that was in London in 2017, I reckon, something like that. I was like, I paid. Even then, it was a little bit steep, but it was London prices, and I was like, oh, it's a good beer. Bought it, enjoyed it. But now you can go in the supermarkets and get like a 4-pack for, I don't know, £8 or whatever it is. I don't know.
Eight quid, 8.50, something like that. Yeah.
So just shows you how it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
The big money gets into the brewery, and then boom, you know.
It's a shame. It is a shame because you have these sort of like attachments, don't you? And I know for me, Beavertown was definitely one of them breweries in the early days where I was hook, line, and sinkered on it. I loved what they were making. I loved their branding. You know, I mean, even now you can't knock the branding. It is a quality bit of artwork there. You know, and that time of the, you know, craft beer sort of revolution, shall we say, it was very, very eye catching. It was different, and it's a shame really that the artwork doesn't. Well, the contents doesn't match the artwork. It is a shame.
Yeah, no. I mean, some of the other beers, like you say, Neck Oil, 8 Ball, is it Black Betty?
Black Betty, yeah.
Holy Cowbell, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, India Porter, wasn't it that?
Yeah, I think so. Black Betty's a black IPA.
Mm.
This is just memory. I can't. I think it was a hoppy porter, but I really enjoyed that because that became a seasonal for a while.
It did, yeah.
And then they replaced that with Lupoloid, which become a seasonal, and now it's a range beer.
Bloody hell, isn't it? That wedged its way in.
Well, bloody hell! When that first come in, that was amazing. That was proper like. It was something I look forward to every year because it was like a seasonal release. That
bloody nosedive though, didn't it?
That was the first 2 years or so. I think I'd done a review and it blew me away. And then they got it down the road on draft and it was just banging. Following year, not quite as good, but still good. Done another review. They got it on keg again and it was great.
Mm.
And then they did lower the ABV of that. That's the one they did. Or was it that? I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because it was a 7%, wasn't it, when it first came out, and it went down to 5. Yeah. 5, 8, 6.
Yeah, I don't know the whole thing, but that changed. And then they all coincided with takeovers and blah blah, going into supermarkets everywhere. That's where it for me, the brewery went down a little bit. So.
Yeah. I mean, these things happen. I mean, lucky enough, there is plenty out there to fill their boots. You know, it just moves on, doesn't it? And it keeps creating. And unfortunately, I think now for Beavertown, having that connection with big beer is sort of slightly tied their hands behind their back, really, and they can't push forward like they would, say, 5 or 6 years ago and be really creative.
I mean, some takeovers they let the brewers keep doing what you're doing, and some in the States especially, and they're still producing fantastic beer. But obviously, as soon as you go into supermarkets, at a certain price, you've got to assume that the ingredients have been kind of trimmed down a bit to meet the price that the supermarkets are asking for.
Yeah.
So I would imagine, and it's probably like that across the board, really. But
yeah, I agree with you on that theory. It's you just got to look at the price points. It's mathematically impossible to put the ingredients that you want to put into that beer at that price point. It's just not doable. And I mean, you could go to the full hog and say, right, this is the bee's knees. We haven't messed about with it. It's not been diluted down. Let's put it in the supermarkets. It's £6 a can. People are going to go, no chance. You know, that's the difference, isn't it?
It's definitely leaving a metallic taste on my palate. This thing, it's a bit kind of tinny.
No, I'm void of that, mate. I'm not getting that.
It's not. It's all. I mean, I'll drink it, but yeah.
Let's get back on the comments, chap. So Benjamin says it looks nice, though. Yeah, I mean, it does look nice. JB, Beavertown got a brewery at Spurs Ground. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they actually brew there, didn't they?
Yeah, in the stadium, isn't it? They got a bar and all sorts.
Yeah. And Andy K, Faith is a quality supermarket beer.
Yeah.
I think the majority of Northern Monk beers are pretty decent, though, aren't they, in there?
Yeah. I saw a 4-pack today. I was like, I didn't really need these beers really, but I've got too much at the moment. Simple. I've got another delivery coming in next week, so there you go.
Scott and Wonders World. Evening, lads. Evening, Scott. And then Thomas says hello.
Okay.
Hungover, apparently.
I was this morning. I'm all right now. That'll be my last beer for a few days off, I reckon. Oh, it's so warm.
Yeah, I'll have a bit of time off it. Well, until tomorrow, anyway.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
I mean, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's forgotten about. End of. Would I buy it again? I don't need to buy it again. This was really for this. You know, it's not a beer that I would go back to, but just chilling out on the sofa and watching a film.
Yeah.
I can think of 101 beers that would trump this.
I mean, I might come back to it again in a year's time just to see what it's like. If it's still crap, then that'll be about it. You know, I do this now and again. Every now and again, I'll buy one. What's it like now? You know. I'm glad I'm not reviewing this one now. This can anyway. It's a bit. I don't know. Is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll go back to we're going to do the Sierra Nevada again, but I think we'll just if you want to crack open your hophead, mate.
All right. Yep.
And I'll open my Siren, and we can just discuss that beer.
Yep. Oh, pint glass here somewhere. There we go.
I mean, again, for me, this brewery, Siren, I think they do make some really, really good beers.
Yeah.
They have got a solid core range. I think, you know, I haven't really had that many, but the ones I have had in the past have been really good. So
that was weird.
What is the ABV on this? 5.6.
Nice clean glass again.
Few floaties in this one.
It smells a bit skunky. Hang on, 2 seconds a minute.
That's all right.
I just heard a crash downstairs.
No worries. I'll just get on the comments, mate, while you're dealing with that. Right. So, Sharkcombe Brewing, Kev. Hello, everyone. Didn't feel well this morning. Jesus, I bet you didn't. Good session, though. As long as you enjoyed it, mate. As long as you enjoyed it. Thomas saying, nice shark. That the Beaver Town. Nothing wrong with that. Everywhere. You get everywhere, Scott. Mark Jones. Hello, Thomas from Kevin. And then Jagman7. Shane Gamma was so good back in the day. I'm saying I've drunk it, but harping back to that of I had a wow factor back then, and that beer today didn't give me that wow factor, and it's disappointing. But I suppose we could go on about lots of breweries, couldn't we? I mean, I know Scott in the comments still to this day drinks a lot of Punk IPA, and again that's probably top of the tree when it comes to beers being changed and doctored. I support my mates. God bless you, mate. Mwah. Hop-heading Waitrose. Yes, mate. Yeah, I have seen it in there. I've seen the one that Craig's drinking, and I think I've seen one. Do they do one called Revolution? I've seen that knocking about, but that's got the old branding on it still. So whether they're going to change that in due course, I don't know. Mark Jones saying thumbs up to Scott. For me, that Soundwave is not as good as what it used to be. All right, well, let's give it a try. Again, I suppose a beer that I haven't had for a very long time. Again, along the lines of something like Gamma Ray, a pretty safe aroma, really. A little bit of hoppiness, a little bit of citrusness. Citrus bitterness. Slightly watery body, really, for 5.6, if I'm being honest about it. Safe again, a safe beer. Not horrible and not amazing. But I think we're just absolutely swamped out on the supermarket shelves with safe beers. I suppose that's the disappointing thing about it when you buy your beers from like bottle shops and you order online and you get the weird stuff, and you go back to beers like this. It just, I don't know, something's not right with it.
I don't know if it's my taste buds, but I don't know what's going on. Well, the Sierra Nevada would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
that should live up. That should live up, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I had a test yesterday, so it shouldn't be that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has got Cascade hops. It's quite a floral hoppiness, if that makes sense. Like I don't know if it's elderflower, something like that. It's got a touch of bitterness going on. It's only 3.8, so you can just session the hell out of this. And it's
would you want to back that beer though?
I'd like to try it on cask just to see. But I did get, when I first opened it, it's gone now, but when I first opened it, it had a bit of skunkiness to it. Just that whiff as soon as you crack it. I know it's in a brown bottle, but you never know where these beers have been as well in the supermarket warehouse somewhere, within the store warehouse or in the main depot. You don't know what kind of conditions these things are on. That's always been my sort of, having working in a supermarket before, what the hell all these beers been through before you buy them, There's going to
be no TLC. They're going to treat a crate of beer exactly the same as they would a crate of beans, aren't they? And just we've got no space, lads. Just chuck it in that corner over there.
That is exactly the way it is. It's certainly in Tesco's when I worked there. It was just like, so all this kind of, I mean, not particularly of a beer like this anyway, but certainly with the more the craftier type stuff in cans, it's like what are these? Even regardless of what canned on date or bottled on date they are, what sort of shit have they gone through in the last 2 or 3 weeks before they got there? Could be in a bloody steaming hot warehouse, or sometimes they throw pallets out in the warehouse, out in the yard, things like that.
Yeah,
you just don't know.
I've seen it myself, mate. I've made many a delivery to a Tesco store and seen stuff lying about outside. I mean, it's ambient. Don't get me wrong; it's not frozen food or chilled or anything like that. It's ambient stuff, but all the same, you've got bloody rays of sunshine banging down on it, whether it's a can of beer or a crate of beans. You know, it's
definitely. But this is all right. I mean, there's a lot more bitterness in it. It's probably because I'm not used to. I like it, bitterness to a degree, but this has got. I think it's just probably for me. It's definitely more trad. It's hoppy. I'd hate saying the word hoppy, but light kind of elderflower, grapefruit, touch of citrus with a bit of finish. But obviously the body of the beer is not there either. So it's all right. It's not how I remember it. Yeah, and I remember when I first had this, it was like, wow, what is that? This is not giving me a wow thing now. All right, my palate's probably moved on with some of the crazy stuff we can get these days, of course, but which I reckon my palate has changed on this one, at least. Whereas the Gamma Ray, I think the beer has changed. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, with this Siren beer at the moment, again, it's another drinkable IPA, but I'd group it in the same category as something like Gamma Ray. It might edge it slightly, but there's not a great deal in it really. It's a pretty safe beer. The body's not amazing on it for 5.6. You get that hoppy grapefruit bitterness. There's a nice little bit of sweetness in there.
Yeah.
It would all back to something like getting a newbie to be a guinea pig.
Yeah. I mean,
just to see what they thought.
I used to love Soundwave. I used to really love it. When it was in bottles, I used to buy it all the time. Before, this is pre-supermarket days again. I used to really, really enjoy them. You know, all their beers. Whenever there was something on from them, I was like, oh, great. Perhaps the core range stuff is not quite, because, again, supermarket job is. But as a brewery as a whole, their cans and stuff, they're pretty solid.
They're not got some belting beers.
Yeah, they're solid. As a brewery, they're solid.
Yeah. I don't quite think they've hit the nail on the head when it comes to nitro beers, though, I must admit.
I see I've not had any, so I can't say. I've heard a lot of people say that, but
I've had about 3 or 4 from them, and it just hasn't really come through on that nitro sort of thing that you want to get, you know, that massive cascading and that big creamy, you know, you can sink them sort of things. I never got that with the 3 or 4 that I had. But yeah, I mean, you know, I do like what they do. I mean, I've still got this to get around to at some point.
Oh Christ, that's supposed to be really damn good.
You know, when they're making stuff like this, they know what they're doing.
That whole little series they done, they're all amazing. I've got a similar kind of bottle to that, but low key barrel project. They brought out a load of kind of like beers with they're like barley wines or imperial stouts type of thing. So I've got a few of them to later on in the year. I'll crack them open. So, but yeah.
Go back on the comments, buddy.
Yep.
I'm never doing a live with Craig ever again. The last one I was, yes, you will. I remember that.
Oh, that. I'm trying to remember.
He was absolutely fucking battered, wasn't he?
I can't remember, to be honest. And if you mention something, I'll be like, oh yeah. That one. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
I think it was. I think we were doing a collab with you of a few beers, and we done them. And then I don't know if you were watching. I think I pinged you over a link, and you jumped on at the back end of the stream for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And but he was slurring his words and everything then.
Yeah.
Long time ago now that was, bloody hell.
I don't remember now.
Midnight Stack. Oh, that's Sainsbury's, isn't it? I think I've had that one.
All right. Yeah, I've never got round to it. A lot of supermarket beers I've never had because I've just, yeah, I think it's just more. I mean, especially with what we've been going through with.
Yeah, it's changed a lot of people. Yeah,
I've kind of like trying to support as much as I can, going either straight to a local brewery, local bottle shop, or now we're open a little bit. I picked up a few kind of mainstream sort of stuff, and then a few bits and bats, like 2 Vault Cities. I got them from Tesco's, and I really enjoyed them. But apart from that, I've not really, because I wanted to try them, but I wasn't fussed about the rest, for various reasons. So
I picked up a bottle of that Vault City Tropical Sour when I think it was last weekend. Me and the missus went shopping, and we went to checkout, and I picked it up, and I picked it up out of the trolley, and it was a little bit light, and I looked at it, it was half filled.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'll go and change it.
Yeah, I went back. I gave it to the lady behind the checkout, and I went and got another one.
All right. Yeah, the raspberry sour was nice. I really enjoyed that. That's really good. You got the tropical and the raspberry. I reviewed the raspberry. I haven't got round to sorting it out yet, but I just drunk the tropical. And they're both good.
Yeah.
For what you're paying, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Jager, that was a good beer as well from their back catalogue as well. The espresso.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, full on coffee.
Reviewed that a couple of times, and the double chin that they come out with a few times.
Yes.
They used to come out at the same sort of time, I think. They were great beers. Yeah.
Oh dear, I need to get on top of these comments. Oh dear, it's my Achilles heel, mate.
I do it. It's all right. I'm just watching the last dregs of the current match actually. On the side.
Hey, Raggy. Good evening. Hello, Billy, mate. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
How you doing, mate? Hope you had a good little weekend there.
I'm sure you'll tell us if he's still in down below.
I think
everyone's saying hello to Raggy.
I reckon he's back now. He said he was getting back.
Yeah, he's been to Paulton's Park, hasn't he?
Yeah, he went down for. I don't know if he met up with. He said he was like time wise, he was a bit didn't have much of it, but
yeah, I've had multiple bottles of that Scott, and it's always delivered for me. Very consistent beer.
I mean, I brought 2 bottles to do this thing. I was like, oh, we're not doing it large up, and we'll get onto it in a minute, I guess, but.
Yeah, we'll get on with that. I'll just catch up on these.
Yep.
Mark Jones says you haven't got COVID.
No.
I totally agree. Scott Sarah is a good one for me. Yeah, there is a lot of love out there for that beer. I must admit, it's always remained in people's thoughts, even with this massive acceleration of everything new and different and jazzy and all that. It's always been in the back of people's minds with a lot of beer fans, shall we say. Everyone keeps talking about where they're located. May need to try them. Got to. It's a must.
They're well, I don't know every supermarket has them, but a lot of them do. Waitrose, that's right. I got mine this afternoon. When I out at lunchtime, picked up a couple of bottles and this, threw them in the fridge for a few hours. And you get the draft version in cans as well. I think they're in Sainsbury's.
Yeah. That's pretty decent. I did a versus video ages ago with them 2 beers.
Yeah,
both come out really good. Just opened a growler of Steady Rolling Man again. I mean, I suppose you could really call that a bit of a classic beer now, couldn't you? Steady Rolling Man.
Yes. one of the best pale ales I reckon you could get in the UK, without a doubt.
I was going to ask that Shark. Still having a chuckle. Knackers. A few hundred miles from. Oh, okay. Yay.
Cool beans.
Peter, evening, folks. How do you, Peter? You all right, mate?
Right.
Oh, right. Okay.
About 3 minutes left of stoppage time.
What's the score?
2-0 to the Czech Republic.
Cool.
But they had De Ligt sent off in the second half, so they're down to 10 men as well, the Dutch. So they're out pretty much. Well, I'm probably about. It's probably near enough finished now, but I've got another 3 minutes on my thing here. So.
Yeah, just a product on a pallet, isn't it, for them at the end of the day that they've got to move around and deal with.
It's never going to change.
No.
The breweries don't care because their beer's getting out there with their name.
It's a shame, really, because it is kind of brand damage, isn't it?
It can be. I mean, I don't know. Not being, I don't know, but I'm sure these breweries must know. They must know how they're, once they've left their hands, whatever happens after that. I'm sure they do care to a degree, but I guess you can't have it both ways, though.
But it's out of their hands, though, isn't it? You know, you know, he's the agreed amount of pallets that we've made for you. There's your truck. Take them away. It's your responsibility now, sort of attitude. You know. And I'm sure they haven't knocked out dodgy beers actually in the brewery and thought, nah, it'll be all right. They're only going in the supermarket. We'd like to think that they haven't got that sort of look on it, and it's down to sort of logistics more than anything, really, and temperatures and all that jazz.
Yeah, which is that's one of the big factors with.
It's massive. It's absolutely massive, isn't it?
Well, it was a big factor with one brewery, but obviously it's not now. So there you go. Yeah.
What time are you on, Raggy?
Not yet.
On the Verdant Pale. Any good? Enjoying it?
Well, nice. That light bulb.
Mary Lou.
Oh, Mary Lou. Oh, that's lovely. That is great beer.
I've not the pleasure of that one.
Yeah, it's nice. Cheers, Japan.
I want to say hi to Peter. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Lovely artwork on that can. Quite bright.
I saw a beer in Sainsbury's today. A McKellar beer, Mary Peter Pale, is it, or something like that?
Oh, just happen to have a can of it, empty can here. There you go. It's quite snazzy. Peter Pale Mary, is that Evil Twin?
What's that?
That beer you just mentioned.
McKellar. It's in Sainsbury's. Mary Peter Pale, I think it's called.
Yeah. I've reviewed that. One of my first few reviews, I think.
It's I think it's a 440.
All right. What, a can or? Or in a bottle? It's in cans now.
In a can, yeah. It's in Sainsbury's.
Oh,
I just had a quick like, you know, I had a nose down there, had a look, and it just stood out for me because I thought, I can't remember seeing that one in the latest release that they, you know, when they bought out all them other beers. Can't remember seeing that one.
Yeah. Well, the Dutch are out.
Oh.
2-0.
Not a fan of sours.
Yeah, they're
I'm not,
very.
but I want to get into them. I really do want to get into them beers.
I never used to like sours at all, and then but I want to get into them. I remember trying. I think it was sourdough from Wild Beer Co. quite a while back, and I wasn't much of a fan of sours then, and I thought if I keep drinking them, I'll end up liking them. And it took me. I got there in the end, but it took me. You have to persevere, I think, with sours.
You do. You do.
I understand why you don't like sours or anyone. It's just like, they're not for everyone. But I wanted to get into them, and eventually I did. And it just took me about 2 years. That's the trouble. So.
Yeah. I was the same. I was the same with a lot of like wheat beers and Hefeweizens. That I found that banana just to be too overpowering, and it was like, oh, I'm not really a fan of that. But now I love it. I really do like them styles of beer. So I think you've just got to sort of like dig in, and there might be some that you don't like at all, and there might be others that you think not too bad, and then you might just get one day and think, yeah, I quite like what I'm drinking.
Yeah. Well, they vary quite a lot as well, don't they? So. Yeah.
It's always been a really, really good beer, that has.
Nice, yeah. I do like it. I haven't had it for a while, but I've always enjoyed it. Oh, nice.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Solid brewery.
I've only had one of their stouts before, I think. Is it oatmeal stout? Yeah.
Go for it, Kevin.
Nice one. I had that yesterday. I had it yesterday. I had that on draft yesterday. First beer yesterday was that. It was like 11% or whatever it is. It's like
going in the deep end.
I had 2/3 of it. Yeah, at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I was like, thank you. It was on
Why not, tap. Mate? If you can do it, that's what I say.
And I did, yeah. But yeah, it's really thick and gloopy, that thing. It's like proper. It's getting on smoothie level, but you don't taste the alcohol, but it's just hard work. It's like, but it's really lovely. Yeah, the blackcurrant, that's just, yeah.
Right, shall we get on this pale ale then, mate?
Yep. Absolutely. Now 2 bottles in a row. Weird opening bottles.
Yeah, 5.6.
Bit of smoke. I mean, it even looks the part, to be fair. I love the sound of raindrops when you're indoors.
Looks good. Looks really good.
It looks great.
Definitely the haziest out of the ones that I've had today.
It's not that. It's not hazy. Well, no, not really. It's just I think the beer's warmed up slightly since I got it out of the fridge, and it's not giving me any kind of chill haze on the glass, so it's not actually looking that. There's a bit of haze. There's a few floaties, really, really small floaties, but it looks lovely. Looks nice.
Fingers look ahead. Yeah. Smooth.
Yeah, it smells really smart. A smart smelling beer. Yeah, I mean, it's just. Is this one of the best pale ales in the world? It's going to be up there. You know.
It's got for me on the aroma, it's got that sort of like crisp thirst quench, like what you'd expect from a lager. It's got that really like crisp, thirst quenching aroma to it. That sort of like tiny little hoppy prickle.
It smells. There is a slight kind of almost sweetness coming off the hops. Almost, it's got a slight. It's like beers you've had regular. You kind of know certain aromas with what you're going to get on the taste kind of thing. You just kind of know. It seems to hit it all the time. I mean, you can get older bottles in the supermarket, so you can get really kind of fresh ones. I think this is the same batch of beers. So it's saying zero on the back. It's 06/04/22. So I guess that's the best before. So I don't know how long they give this.
Yeah, no. What do you say? 06/04.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
So I mean, I'm assuming that's the 4th of June. It was bottled.
Yeah.
If it's the 4th of June, that's ultra fresh.
It does. It smells very, very. It's just. I know it's going to quench me first. It's just got that aroma to it.
Yeah. No, it smells really good. To be fair.
Yeah.
And this is the second lot I bought recently, and it's. I mean, they give the. I guess that's the best before date. 22 at the end. So I'm guessing that they've given this a year's shelf life, and this is just this is about 3 weeks in the bottle, so which is pretty good.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. This is cracking.
It's that body, isn't it, as well? It's got a beautiful body to it. It's weighty almost.
I love that kind of residual, kind of sweet, slightly hop oil type finish it leaves on the palate. It just hangs around. I keep trying to get some more out of the bottle. You know, it's one of them. I've already poured it out, but I made sure about 3 times. You know,
I mean, with it being American, we've always got that little bit extra being a 355ml bottle, but it is, you know, if this was in a bomber, I'd be quite happy.
I don't know if they do bombers in the States of this or not. I've never seen one. You know, you look at other beer reviewers or whatever, and I've never. I think it's more of like a 6 or a 12 pack of these. I think they're more like that, which I'd be like, and I don't know how much that'd be, like $8 for a 12 pack. I'd be like, I'll get a couple of them.
Yeah.
Just to have there, you know.
If you pick your target supermarket right, and you go to somewhere like Tesco, 4 for $6 range, and Morrison's, 4 bottles of that for £6. It's a winner all day long, isn't it?
It's really good, really good. And it's another beer that's never changed. It's the consistency generally. All right, you might get an older bottle now and again. It'll be a bit, that was a bit crap or whatever, which can happen. But the last couple of times I've had them in the last few months, they've been really fresh and absolutely banging. And this is the same, so really great.
It's a beautiful all-rounder beer that I would class it as. You know, if you were doing a barbecue, it would be a great beer to have.
Oh, just like
it gives you flavour. You've definitely got body from it, and it wouldn't be a beer that would get in the way of food. It would really complement anything, really. It's one of them sort of beers.
I mean, I'd buy a load of this if I had a barbecue and mates round. I'd be like, get loads of this. All right, it might cost you a bit, but what a lovely beer! What a lovely beer! And it's, as I said, it's not changed. The quality is really damn good, and for the price point, all right, compared to the States, it's going to be a bit more. Would you expect that? But it's still decent for what you're paying over here. What's it, £2 a bottle or something? I can't remember what I paid for it.
Yeah, it's about. I think it's a single bottle of this. I think it's about 160, 180 a go, something like that. It's a bargain. Yeah. It is an absolute bargain.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's, I mean, for me, for the two beers that I've had before, it absolutely wipes the floor with them. It really does. It just blows them out of the water. And you've got to bear in mind, you know, with the volume rate is more or less the same, really, because this is a mass-produced beer, isn't it? You know, the shitloads of bottles of this flying off the production line. It's got to be on par with the likes of a can of Gamma Ray or Soundwave or, well, yeah, Hophead. I mean, it'd probably wipe the floor with that, wouldn't it, in volume wise?
Yeah, but again, it's I can't remember when I first had this. Probably 10, 12 years ago.
Definitely an early doors beer for me as well. Yeah.
I mean, but even before the craft, I mean, I should have picked up a few Belgian beers. Really, maybe we could do that another time. Because I got into Belgian beers miles before I got into cask. Even before cask, was it? Just trying to remember now. Yeah, before cask, I was into Belgian beers in the early 2000s.
Well, and I mean, I know you're quite open with beer styles as well, Craig. So, I mean, I'd be quite happy to do something again with you, like legacy real ales, you know, legacy Belgian beers or German beers or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, doing like a little mini series of beers that we had way back, you know, with different sort of styles.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, absolutely. This is a bit of a mix, I guess. You've got American. I mean, most people have had this. I mean, if you haven't, go out and get some. Just, you know, see what you think.
Oh yeah, jump on it all day long. I say the same with like Pilsner Urquell as well. I mean, that for me, that's another beer that when the weather's good, a 6-pack of that, if it's on offer, I always grab it. Always.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No. But this is drinking easy. I'm glad I got 2 bottles. So.
Very, very Moorish. Oh, cool. Lovely stuff.
That's right. Nice one. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't muck around yesterday. I paid for it this morning, but it was a good day or afternoon.
That sounds pretty good, actually. If I'm completely honest.
It's been on my radar actually. That one, they've got it over in Canterbury, and I'm like, well, I don't need beer. This is the thing. It's like, right.
Yeah. Pretty good profile there, mate. I think I had a can of that, and it was all right. Yeah.
I'm not a lover of mangoes in.
You said you get acid reflux from mango, don't you?
Well, funny enough, I had one yesterday, and it wasn't overly mango-esque, if that makes it. Wasn't gloopy, thick mango, which was all right, but it can, if they go full-on mango, it can get a bit too much for me.
Okay.
But I might have to give that one a go. We'll have to wait and see.
And then, yeah, no worries, Mark. Thank you for stopping by, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Nice one. Seagulls. I ain't shutting the window. It's too hot. They just won't shut up now.
I suppose you've got used to that noise now, though, haven't you, with them?
Yeah, it's just normal. They breed on next door neighbour's roof, so every summer it's like they come back every year. Don't bother me. As long as they don't shit all on your car or
they make a fucking mess, don't they, when they drop their cuts?
They're a pain in the arse. When they got young though, and you're wearing something really like flashy clothes, they can dive bomb you.
It's like someone chucking a bloody tin of paint over you, isn't it? When I've seen it when I used to go down to Worthing quite a bit and do deliveries down there, and I just saw them. I was parked outside the bloody delivery unit, and they were all around in the town. And this one flew over, and it dropped its guts on the pavement, and it was like someone had dropped a tin of paint on the floor.
Yeah, you don't want to get onto that. They say it's lucky, like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather not be lucky, to be fair.
No. No. I'll take bad luck, I think,
stick,
than get covered in that shit.
stick your luck up your ass. I don't want it. You know what I mean? Not interested. No. Oh. That's lovely, man. That is so nice. It's certainly beer of the free. That.
Oh yeah, hands down. I agree with you 100% there, Craig.
Kind of thought it would be, but yeah, didn't realise kind of how much. But yeah, this is well out ahead. But it's nice to try them, isn't it? Sometimes you don't know until you try things. It's like, I always say, go out and try them for yourself. See where your palate's at or whatever. And
yeah, again, like doing stuff like this, geeky or whatever you want to call it. It's having a few beers before something, and then having something like this, and just, I don't know, you get to grips with the beers, and you realise that one beer outweighs another beer. You know what I mean? It's instead of just having them on their own and thinking, yeah, they're all right. When you've got this sort of like quick fire sort of drink along, and it just blows them out of the water.
No, they're great. They're great beers, and it's a beer that I'll keep going back to as well. I'd like to try some of their other stuff. I must admit, there's been a few of their other things. I think they've been on Beer Hop that I really fancy that. I think it's Optimum. I really want to try that. I had it once at Great British Beer Festival. I had it on. I don't know if it was on draft or on. I think it was draft. Was it draft or cask? I can't remember. And that was phenomenal. That was like, wow, that's so. I mean, another one is Torpedo, of course, that we can get.
Yeah.
Although I've not seen it so much in M&S lately. It's never been in there.
I haven't seen that for a long while. Torpedo, and then the tropical torpedo as well. It's been a few years.
I've never had the tropical torpedo. I've always wanted to try it, but I just never got round to it. Like, what it's like.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I'd like the tropical as much as torpedo anyway. I like them big resinous type, sticky, jammy almost IPAs.
Torpedo's proper old school, isn't it? That is a proper old school beer.
Big old bitter bastard thing.
Bitter resin, pine. Yeah, it's got everything in it you want.
Yeah.
Quality beer, that is.
No, that's a great beer. But again, the Optimum is another level. It's like, I think they call it a double IPA, and it's like 10% or whatever it is, which is quite amusing. I don't know.
Both rate as top 3 UK brewers at the moment. Well, Dare's got to be knocking on the door, hasn't it? For I think for both of us.
They're there or thereabouts, aren't they? I think they have been for about 2 or 3 years, personally.
I'd go Dare. I'm getting back into Verdant again, and a toss up between either somebody like Pentridge Brewing or Left-Handed Giant.
Yeah, Left-Handed Giant for sure. I was lucky enough to be there a couple of weeks ago with some of the guys. I need to try more of their stuff, really. I had a triple IPA from them a while ago, and that was absolutely amazing. There was no hint of ABV. It was just crazy. I think someone like Beak are pretty damn good.
Yeah, Beak as well, yeah. Beak.
At the moment. I mean, they're not quite so well known as, say, Dare or Verdant, but they're up there. More of a slightly newer brewery, of course. There's a few other breweries that are starting to. I'm quite interested in, like Newtown Park Brewery. Wait, sorry, 2 secs. 2 secs.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, I mean it's a tough one to nail it down to like top 3 as well, because there's that much choice, really, regionally choice. I mean, somebody like the Colonel as well. I mean, I don't know if Craig's going to be opening up his table beer or not, but they've always been there in the background, and they've always been very, very consistent. And the beers that I've had from them, I've always been very, very happy with. And maybe they don't get the credit they deserve. I don't know, but again, I mean, for me, Colonel, brewed by numbers as well. So I mean, Neon Raptor. I mean, you can just start plucking beers. That Duration, and you've got Burnt Mill, that sort of area of England. You go up north. I mean, there's just a bloody plethora, isn't there, of brewers making absolutely top quality beers. It's a tough one, very, very tough. The big ones from Vault City we always wanted to try was Iron Brew and Vimto Sours. It sounds pretty interesting. Hello, Chris. How are you doing, mate? Hope you're keeping well. I mean, Left-Handed Giant, they've made some absolutely belting beers. I've had quite a few from them. I think one for me that springs to mind is Woodland's Creatures. I mean, that stout was pretty good. That was really, really good, actually. And the Dab Hand IPAs as well. I think they're one of them breweries that have got a good portfolio of pretty much everything. They know how to make a decent imperial stout. They've nailed it with IPAs. They've done a few lagers in the past, and they've dabbled with sours. So it's, you know, you've got a bit of everything there for everybody. Wylam, yeah, another good beer brewery. I haven't had that many though, to be honest. I've only probably had about 2 or 3 beers, but the ones I've had, is it Jakehead? That's absolutely phenomenal. Just got a can of Newtown Park Come Alive.
Yeah, I've got a can of that coming next week. They just brought out a rice lager. We had a taste from the tank of it a couple of weeks ago, and it was. I'm definitely said, "Oh, this is coming out in a couple of weeks." I was like, "Oh, great!" And the other day, it was on their website. I was like, "Right, 4 cans of that, can of this, can of this, can of that, glass."
Cheers, Christoph.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Good to see you.
Have a good shift, mate.
Yeah. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. But yeah, it's a good brewery. I've been quite impressed with them. Yeah. Okay, please go away. Right. Daughter's in and out of the bedroom at the moment. So, what you got going on there food-wise then, mate? What is that your dinner?
I've got a kebab, mate.
Oh, I had one last night. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Better late than never, but aye.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, I had a kebab last night. Well, it wasn't a kebab. It's just like a load of doner meat. I was like, that'll do. I don't want none of that vegetation on it.
Rabbit food. I've got rabbit food on mine.
Yeah, loads of mayo, maybe a pit of bread with it.
Yeah, cucumber, bloody tomato, lettuce. I'll eat it because I'm bloody starving.
Well, no, it's all right, but yeah, I just want the good stuff.
I've got a big order coming tomorrow from North.
Wow,
Only
nice.
have a transmission Sputnik. Sputnik's good.
Yeah. I haven't had transmission for. Sputnik is the one you can get, of course.
Yeah.
But transmission, I think, used to be an M&S, or it probably is at certain parts of the country. It's not down here, or it used to be one of the two. But yeah, they do some great beers.
Yeah, I mean, bloody when they had that deal on with Lost Cosmonauts in a 4-pack for something silly like £6.
Yeah,
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Really, you know, that 4 40ml cans for £6.
oh, it's crazy prices.
It's just silly money, really.
And the quality is of a level that it shouldn't really be that price.
No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because that is a well received beer. I think when we're talking supermarket beers,
It's probably the most consistent one of quite a lot of them, because a lot of them are vary from batch to batch. Some can be really crap, some can be really good, and it's like that.
I've had a couple of dodgy Love and Eights in the past.
Yeah, when they first come out, it was amazing. It was like, Jesus, get on some of this, and then there was a while it was crap, and then it got better again, and it's weird. I think it's just like
it puts you up slightly though, doesn't it? Because I know it's like, you know, £3 a can or whatever, but you think, well, I had a can of that last week and it was absolutely dodgy, you know, it was oxidized or whatever, and you sort of like, you hesitate a little bit whether to pull the trigger on getting another can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't rush out and get all these new. I mean, it feels like it's been quiet though the last month or so. Since we come out of lockdown, it's gone really quiet. I think it was just the back end of lockdown. It started going crazy, and I wasn't, you know, going in supermarkets.
I've lost track of it all, mate.
I don't know what's still available, what's still out there. I don't, you know, I have no idea.
I don't even know what wave we're in when it comes to supermarket beers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Obviously, the first influx of beer that we got onto the shelves, I was very excited about, and I welcomed it.
Yeah.
And then the second lot, it's like a refresh sort of thing. But now I think because every Tom, Dick, and Harry's jumped on the bandwagon, because every supermarket seems to bring it all out in one hit, it's become a bit of a bloody head fuck. And it's took the bloody fun out of it for me a little bit. So I've pulled right back on it. I've had bits and bats, but I haven't gone mad on it, you know. I haven't gone mad on it. I think that ship sailed for me, really.
Well, I mean, it just coincided with lockdowns, as I was saying, and I thought they don't need my money, so I lost out. I missed out on a lot of stuff that I'm not overly bothered about missing out on beers, and I haven't been probably since 2017. That's when I got out of all that FOMO kind of bollocks.
Yeah,
I'm not that bothered anymore. And a lot of these beers, they get rebrewed eventually anyway, so sooner or later you'll get round to it. So it's not a big deal, unless it's brewed specifically for supermarkets, and I'm not that fussed anyway. But yeah, like Roaster Coaster, that's probably one of the best stouts in the supermarket, I think. That's just for what you're getting. It's just other quality.
I like Roaster Coaster. I quite like the is it the Chocolibra, is it? The Mexican hot chocolate stout thing that Brewdog did. I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I don't. Did I have that? I can't remember, to be honest.
I thought that was pretty decent.
I remember Lidl done Rocker or something or other.
Oh, Williams Brothers.
Williams, yeah. I thought that was decent.
Mocha chocolate, yeah.
That one, yeah. I thought that was all right.
I think I might have got that in a Beer 52 box from the past.
I think that's when I got it, actually. And then about a month or two later, it came out in Lidl. So I very rarely get up to Lidl. I just could never be bothered, to be honest.
They're building one in my town. It should be open within the next few weeks or so. They're nearly finished on it. But other than that, I only pop into them if I'm delivering wherever I am, and I see one.
Yeah.
I bought one of them Belgian boxes out of there. I think I was over in Milton Keynes, and I popped in and got their Belgian box for $11.99. Pretty good beers in there, really.
I mean, it's great value for what you're getting.
You're getting some strong beers, aren't you?
Really damn good. But I think that's about the third time they brought that out over the last few years.
Yeah.
I still didn't get round to getting this one, but again, it's one of them things. Eventually I'll get it. They'll bring it out again, no doubt. But nah, it's just we're just spoiled, aren't we, with this day and age? You know, it's just there's so much stuff. It's just crazy. Oh, lovely. Very nice.
Nice lineup there, mate.
Yeah.
That shouldn't disappoint, mate. Yeah.
Allagash. I've always been meaning to get Allagash beer. Is it the wit beer?
Wit beer, yeah. Have it, mate. It's bloody beautiful stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't need beer. But I still, fucking hell, that's come out. This has come out. But it don't matter. So
Allagash White is fucking nice. Seriously,
yeah,
for a wit beer, you could just bloody. I mean, it's what Cloudwater was selling it on their web shop. I think Trebly Matters are doing it now, and there's quite a few guys that have jumped on it.
Yeah.
But I got mine from Cloudwater, and I think it was about £5.10 a can, but it's really good, really good.
You expect it to be about that price. All right, for us, a wit beer, that £5 it's a little bit, but then it's American, so
yeah,
you kind of
I think that's how you've got to see it. You know, if it was Belgium, then you'd be looking at what, I don't know, £3-4 a go or whatever. You got that little bit extra because it's coming from the States, but it's well worth it. Really, that's a mighty fine beer, that is.
They got a few other beers out as well, haven't they? Some barrel aged Belgian.
They did a triple with coffee infusion, which is something bean to something.
Yeah.
Which I've reviewed that. That was really good. They do their core triple. They've got some cool ship stuff on there. Spontaneous beers, 3 or 4. Good selection. I think they do a Pilsner. Yeah, they've got everything there.
That's good, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a Vale down in the fridge that Adam very kindly sent me. I will get to it, but I don't know if I should wait till Christmas, but I reckon it might. It's a coffee stout, so it might fall off a little bit, so I might have to have it before then. But yeah, very kindly sent me one of them. So I might just stop.
Interesting. I know Morrison's up north. They've got a pretty good selection of Belgian beers. I know they do. Like, they've got the Westmail triple in there. We've got a couple of the Castile beers, the Rouge and something else. But I haven't seen them down my one. The only thing Belgian wise in my Morrison's is we've got the Leffe, the big bottles of Leffe, blonde and brune. A couple of the Duvels, Citra and normal. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't get to go to Morrison's that much because my nearest one's about 5 miles away. I mean, it's fairly close, I guess, compared to if you're out in the sticks or whatever. But yeah, we don't get the full range of new releases down this way that much. We get bits and bats, but more often than not, I have to go to like Canterbury, a bigger store, and I'm not that fussed about travelling 16 miles to go into a supermarket for some of their beers. I'm not that bothered. But if we're up the road and they've got them, then yeah, I'll pick them up probably. Some of them anyway. But
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know you're quite partial to them sort of beers anyway, aren't you? You know, from your early days sort of thing. Yeah, you've got respect for them beers, I guess.
Oh man, that pale ale was cracking. Very nice. Morrison's,
yeah. Yeah, that's
right.
I mean, that started off its life in Sainsbury's, to Tesco's, didn't it? £5.
Yeah, for the big old bottle as well.
Big old 750 jobber, yeah. And I think Sainsbury's are doing it in there now as well, £5. You can get the Schneider Weiss in there. Weihheim Stefano, the Weiss beer, that's back in stock now as well, because that dipped out a little bit when we had all that Brexit sort of couple of weeks where we couldn't get stuff, and not triple common, Weihheim Stefano, that completely disappeared, and I was like, again, that's another sort of go-to beer for me. And I spoke to one of the guys down in the beer aisle, and I said, what's going on with the Weihheim Stefano? He said, oh, we're not stocking it anymore. It's all this Brexit stuff. It's become too expensive to get back in. But obviously they've ironed out them issues, and it's back on the shelves now. But there was a lull for about 2 weeks.
So did the price point change in them few weeks, or is it?
Yes, I think it went up 20 pence.
Yeah, I mean, still 20 quid. 20 quid. Yeah, 20p's not too bad.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know if it was. I think it was 180 before, and it's now £2 a bottle.
2 quids.
But I can still live with that.
That's all right. 20p is.
Mm.
You know, and it'll go on off at some point, no doubt.
Good morning, lads. But yeah, where are you, mate?
Australia. Yeah. Down under.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I need to get my arse into gear and getting that, but yeah, it's just, as I said, there's so many things I want to try. It's just another one of them, you know.
It'll come around.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, it's been out a few times recently, so. Cheers, Kevin. Nice one, mate. Nice. Well, you brought a load home with you, I assume. That'd be good. I had a good weekend, mate. Looked like you was having fun.
Yeah. I can remember taking my kids to Portland's Park years ago when they were little, and unfortunately it was only Peppa Pig World that we had to wander around. We never got to saw any of the other bloody attractions because they were only like little. But it was a good day out. The weather was amazing, and then we went into Southampton after, and we come across this nice little sort of Belgian craft beer bar somewhere in the town, and me and the missus had a couple of beers, and we had one of a croque monsieur. Fucking lovely it was.
I don't know. Have I got time for another beer or not?
If you want to, mate, I'll have another one. If you're going to have another one.
Yeah, I'll have one more, and then I'll go and get the old Colonel table beer. Get that.
Yeah, okay.
That's another brewery at the same time as.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Yeah, and that'll probably be it then. Right.
Yeah, we'll do one more beer each, guys, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cool beans. Right, I'll be back in a sec.
But thank you everyone for staying in on it. 13 people watching, much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're going to see Hellas. Wow. Amazon Fresh. Wow, $2.99. I mean, that's you're looking at that at a bottle shop, aren't you? And then you've obviously got the P&P to whack on top of that. So that's pretty good value, $2.99 for a bottle of that, because that is cracking. Absolutely cracking beer, that is. That takes some bloody beating as the lager goes, one of them. Right, what do I have next? I've got a bottle of Innocent Gun bourbon barrel Scotch ale, 6.6. I suppose that would be classed as legacy, wouldn't it, with these guys, because they've got quite a bit of longevity with supermarket beers. I suppose these really came before everybody else as well, didn't they? Yeah, bugger it. Let's open that up. Okay. The original of flagship beer. That's what I'm opening, mate.
What's that, mate?
Just open that one up.
All right. I haven't had that for ages. There we go. So, 500ml bottle. What's in this then? So, hops in this one, Centennial and Summit. Bottled on the 16th of April, so I've had this a while. There's a local bottle shop in Broadstairs that started to get some of these beers in, which is like, wow. Cracking. I think it's like £2.50 for this, which is like, you know, for a 500.
I've never reviewed it, but I have had the pleasure of trying it, and I thought it was bloody good stuff for what it is.
I mean, it's a low ABV beer. This one's 3.3%. It varies, but obviously the hops vary as well. And but I think these guys were the OG of table beers in the UK within the craft beer kind of realm.
They've got to be the first, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, I remember drinking 2010, 2011, that sort of period.
Because that's a regularly brewed beer for them as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, whatever hops, they do different variations on it. And some are in like 330s, some are 500s like this one.
They do they do a beer? They do a table beer, like a saison version of that.
Well, I mean, table beer is not technically always like it's not really. It goes across styles. It's a style that goes across the board, but it's just low ABV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, most of them have been like more of the hoppier type, the kind of the ones I've had anyway. But again, a brewery, no good, no crazy artwork, just to stand out. This is what we do, and we're not going to change kind of mentality. And
I admire them for doing that.
The quality is just generally never changed in the last 12 years or so since they've been going.
I love how they've just absolutely turned their back on wacky artwork and canning as well, for that matter.
Oh, it's amazing.
They just think, no, fuck it. We're bottling, we're doing 330s and we're doing 500s. This is it. A nice plain Jane sort of cardboard, like paper wrap around it. Basic ingredients on there, and
good.
Let the contents do the talking, don't they?
I mean, these are the first brewery I come across that had sediment in the bottle, away from Belgian beers, of course. In the UK, it's like, look at all that shit in the. What's that? You know. And it's just great. I think they're fantastic. You know, I want to get to their. I'm hoping to get to their tap room next weekend, actually, but we'll have to wait and see. So I don't have to book or what. It might be just me and maybe one other, but I don't know how that works. I need to have a look. But yeah, it's been on my radar since just before shit hit the fan, basically. I mean, obviously I go to London regularly with Lytton and stuff, so
I'd love to have a field day in London, to be honest with you, beer wise. I drive past that many breweries, and hot spots with beer and stuff, and it does your head in, because you can't when you're working, you can't just kind of pull over and go and have a look and have a taste and stuff. But I'd love to go out on the Raz and just do like
2 seconds, sorry.
the Bermondsey Beer Mile and all that.
I've never really done it. I've done bits of the Bermondsey Beer Mile, but never really properly done it. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Yeah. I suppose, for me, I see it as value for money beer for what you're getting. It's exceptional, absolutely exceptional, Sam. It is good. Yeah, you might have a job. You might have a job being down under, I guess. Just finished gardening, cracked a wild beer runs, New Zealand IPA, massive grapefruit flavour hit. Has that hit the spot though, Adam? Has that hit the spot? And Friends of Sunset, good evening, chaps. Good evening. Thanks for stopping by. Greg's doing his dad duties, and I'm eating a kebab and drinking innocent gum beer, which, to be honest, isn't too bad. That's not too bad, actually. I wouldn't say it's 6.6% ABV, bourbon barrel Scotch ale. That bourbon sort of thing in there really doesn't. It's in there, but it doesn't. It's not a smack in the chops. You get a little bit of like sort of woodiness to it. There's quite a bit of vanilla in there. It kind of smells and tastes a little bit higher than what it is. It's 6.6 as well. It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. I got it in a gift pack Father's Day. There's two bottles of this in a glass. It's all right.
My local beer supplier. How you doing, mate? You all right? He's got a shitload of beers. He dropped round yesterday when I was out on the lash. I forgot. Yeah, I got like 6 cans of Anspach and Hob Day cans, and he threw a load of. Thanks for the. Actually, they're here. Actually, he got me a load of Seven Brothers stuff as well. So things like this. So, which I really wasn't expecting. Really appreciate it. What else we got here? I can't even remember. Easy IPA, like Seven Brothers, loads of Seven Brothers stuff, and I don't think I've had anything from them before. So there's an extra. Oh, that's new from my local brewery, East Kent Pilsner, from the Ramsgate. It's a bit one of them shiny cans. So it's brewed with Noble East Kent Goldings hops. A Pilsner with that in. So that's quite interesting.
I don't think we've had any comments come in, mate. But can you just hold the thought a minute while I just go to have a Jimmy Riddle?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, local brewery, Gadsall, the Ramsgate Brewery. They've got this East Kent Pilsner. It's been out a few weeks now, but so I'll be looking forward to cracking into that. I've heard it's not too bad. So I've got that. Might as well go through the whole range, really. Honeycomb. What's this? Seven Brothers Honeycomb. What style of beer is it? Honeycomb Pale Ale. Seven Brothers. I think they're out of Manchester, I believe. Yeah, Salford, Manchester. So, interesting one. So I've got 4 cans from these. So, yeah, Sling It Out, Stout, 5.5% jobby. Interesting. Chocolate stout brewed using upcycled Kellogg's Cocoa Pops provided as part of the sustainability program. Interesting. I've heard a lot about that sort of stuff from these guys. What else we got here? Juicy IPA. Pretty cool. I'm more looking for what hops are in it rather than. Does it really say? 6%. Interesting. So easy IPA, I guess, is more of a session. 4.7. Interesting stuff. So more of a trad one from my local brewery. Reviewed this years ago, number 3. So it's a pale ale, 5% ABV. Kentish pale ale brewed. So Goldings hops. East Kent Goldings. But yeah, I haven't had this in a bottle for a long time. And then 6 other beers in this box, and I've got a few other like mixed fermentation kind of bottles as well. So that's it.
I've got I'll just go and grab it out of the fridge.
All right, what's that?
It's Brothers Shoe Mostov and Little Earth Project beer de table.
Ah, it looked like Lost and Grounded. It looked like a Lost and Grounded thing there. That little round, that little round circle thing.
I want to get into all these sort of like funky beers, you know, the lambics and all that. I do want to try and sort of dig a little bit deeper into these beers.
I must admit, I mean, I know good friend on screen. He's well into his lamp. He goes to Belgium. Well, in normal times, Belgium a few times a year. Here and another friend of mine, Richard. They go quite regular. Rich is just like, he's probably the most knowledgeable person I've ever met within the Lambic Gers kind of style of beers. Goes to Belgium on a normal year 3-4 times. He's got one of the biggest kind of like Saison collections I've ever seen. Just like, I don't know how many bottles he's got. He's got to get on for 1,000 bottles of Lambic and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, very, very underrated style, though, isn't it? A Saison.
Yeah, I struggle with drinking too much of it, though. That's the thing. You get some of these bottles, you think, I mean, unless you're sipping it all day or whatever, then you can do it. But they're generally sharing sort of beers. I think anyway, but yeah, and it's with company and
yeah. I know what you mean.
You go through it, you talk about it, and all that sort of stuff. It's great, but I want to go to Belgium one like a long weekend and do some stuff out there. That'd be awesome. So probably be hopefully next year maybe, but that's in my plans. So that'd be great.
Yeah, I've got a few places lined up on the radar for like hopefully. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but maybe hopefully, fingers crossed, next year, me and the missus can have like a long weekend in somewhere like Bruges or somewhere, just to experience it really more than anything. Because I mean, as much as you've got a great lineup of beer there, you've got the beautiful scenery and everything. You know, there's lots of history and everything.
Yeah, and
very picturesque.
Market squares and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah. It looks beautiful from what I've seen online. I'm sold.
I have been there, but not. It's more. It wasn't that kind of. It was more of somewhere to stay. But I do remember. I thought it was stunning. It was like, this is beautiful. So yeah, it's definitely on my radar to go back for sure. So.
Yeah, me and her we went to Prague about 4 years ago now, and that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, picturesque as you like, and a decent selection of beer, really.
Yeah. No, it's I'm gonna try and obviously mix it up with take the Litland somewhere, do that, and then I'll go somewhere either my own or a few friends or whatever. Either way, I'm gonna go and do things. I mean, this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, beer festivals in this country. And then next year, yeah, I mean, I'd love to go to Copenhagen one day and Belgium, Germany, Sweden.
Just the list is endless, really, isn't it? Because
just,
I mean, New England, going over to,
Yeah, and again, I'd like to go over and visit. I'd like to go over and visit Joe as well when he's feeling better.
Yeah. He's a good lad here, isn't he, Joe?
Oh, I love Joe. I've got so much time for him. He's just a lovely guy, you know. He comes across like a proper nice guy.
Yeah.
And I've obviously known him doing this for, I reckon it's about 4 or 5 years now. I lose track of time. We could throw another couple of years on it. The last year and a half now.
I got to know him through Rod, really, when he did his his streams.
Another guy I'd love to meet, Rod. Just
Rod Sound.
What a diamond lad he is, you know. And there's a fair few in the Canadian guys. I'd like to meet them when shit allows, of course. I think this year's I personally this year going abroad have written it off.
Yeah, it's not worth it's not worth the hassle, because you probably could go away, but I seem to think in my mind that you'd come back and you'd want another holiday to get over the holiday, because it'd be that stressful with obviously restrictions, and you can't proper unwind, can you?
It's just I'm more cautious than perhaps other people, I guess. But I think this year stick to the UK if you're going to do anything, and then we'll see how the winter goes, and then we'll see next spring. That's the way I've in my head. See how things go with their programs abroad and stuff. Cheers, nice one. How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. Also, everyone drinking as well. That's another one.
Well, you've made light work of that table beer, mate.
Oh, that's the beer before. I've still got that. Don't worry. I was just finishing off the dregs of the hophead. I was like, get that out of the way. No, I'm quite a slow drinker, to be fair. You know, it depends sometimes your company, your mood. You can drink quicker some days. Other days it's like, yeah. I think the more I drink, the quicker I get. It's like it kind of starts slow and then it slowly ramps up, kind of thing. Once I'm really drunk, I'll drink too quick. It's just like it's the way it is. It's just like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when I get in trouble. So
mine's with. I mean, I've drunk all the beers that we've done tonight. I'm just finishing off this innocent gun.
Yeah.
But mine's probably nerves more than anything. You know what I mean? If I've got a glass to my mouth, then I know I'm not talking. I'm drinking. You know what I mean?
It's weird how this kind of YouTube malarkey works. I used to be really nervous. I think now I just do it so much. It's kind of. I don't know. It's all in your head, isn't it? I think. But
it's mind game. Yeah, I'm my own worst enemy. Yeah. I really am. I mean, we were coming back down the motorway earlier on today, and my missus knew that I was doing a hangout with you, and she could see that I was getting worked up about it, which I was. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it. I was a bit.
Fair dude.
But after that, I mean, like now, I love it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm enjoying your company as always. I'm enjoying the people in the chat, just trickling along with comments.
Do you get more nervous if it's on your channel or on someone else's, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's just that case of.
You don't come across nervous though.
I know it's a weird. It's all in here, mate. Seriously, I try and hide it as much as I can.
No, I mean I used to be, but now I'm like.
I mean, you come across as just you're just proper laid back. You are. You.
I just don't care. Yeah,
I mean, you're harmless, aren't you? There's nothing offensive about you. You're pretty open to people. You know, you're quite broad-minded. You've got a nice reach of people. You welcome pretty much everybody globally, don't you? You know,
I just, if you're into it, you're into it, and then if you're a troll, then you get blocked. It's just, I don't care. I don't worry about things so much these days.
Yeah.
I used to do. There's certain things. Obviously, my kind of the way things have been and blah blah. I'm not going to go into that, but I worry about her. Apart from that, I don't really care. You know, it's just it's the way, it's kind of the way I've sort of been really.
That's not a bad thing, though, mate. To be honest with you, you prioritise the way you need to prioritise, don't you?
My personality's changed since I've been doing this. I think. Well, I was like a bag of nerves when I first started. Now I'm like, well, whatever. It is what it is, and then just enjoy what you're drinking, the friends you meet, the friendships you make. I'm almost to the point where beer's secondary now for me.
Well, it's a prop, isn't it? You know,
it's an excuse to make great friends, if you like.
Yeah.
It's just that bit in the middle, but really, it's about people enjoying or got similar kind of interests as you have and stuff like that, which is great. Brings people together. And, I know I can relate to that. When you talk about the liquid that we consume, it does open the door to new people. But it's not. There's no ulterior motive with me with this. Like being on YouTube, having a channel and all that. That's not really. It doesn't really. I mean, when I first started, it was a little bit more of that. It's like, oh, is anyone going to watch? And hope people like it. And now I'll get to that point. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, but you've got a good following now, haven't you? I think like a lot of us out there that have been doing it for a long while, we've got that sort of dependable group of people that watch our stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I love that, and there's a few in the chat now and stuff that are just like, you know, it's really nice, just regular people. You read the comments and stuff, and it's just really, that's what it's all about for me. Yeah. It's just really nice.
Yeah, it is nice, and you do get a lot out of it. I must admit, you do get a lot out of it.
I probably don't say it as much as because I don't like, you know, it's like, but I do appreciate everyone watching and stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same. You'll never hear me say, please subscribe, give us a big thumbs up and all that jazz. I don't need to say that. I don't need to say that because people out there will do it regardless. I don't need to tell people what to do. They either like me or they don't. They'll either give me a thumbs up or they won't. I don't need to tell them to do that.
Same as me. Yeah.
You know.
Keeps dropping. But no, I'm exactly the same with all of that. You know, if you like, you do it anyway. You don't need telling.
No, you don't need telling. You know, you watch a couple of. I mean, you see, you go down like little rabbit holes of people that you haven't heard of before, and you click on their profile, and they've been reviewing for, I don't know, 12 months. They've got, you know, 50 videos out or whatever. You watch a couple of videos, you like what you see, you think, oh yeah, I'll give them a sub.
Yeah,
you know, I like what I'm seeing. you know, they're delivering what, you know, what I kind of like. That's just how it is.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I mean, there's lots of people doing it now, isn't there? There's loads of people doing it now.
I mean, it's a very niche kind of. This chair is driving me nuts. It keeps dropping, and I want it to stay. Just stay, right? It's one of them up and down kind of like, I don't know, sort of studio chairs, if you like, or desk, you know. And it's crap. It keeps dropping. But the trouble is, if it goes too low, it's doing it again. I get a kind of a cramp in the back of my leg. I don't know why. So I'm trying to keep it, and it's dropping all the. It's at it, I reckon. Anyway, bit of a segue. But yeah, I mean, beer reviewing is a very niche kind of market within the realms of YouTube. It's more it's more sort of gaming is very massive and stuff like that, and for goodness sake, it's getting on my nerves now.
You're gonna end up launching it.
Just drive me crazy. But yeah, obviously now there's a lot more people doing it than when we first started. I'm almost.
I welcome it though. I do welcome it because
I love it. I think it's great.
It takes balls. It takes balls to turn the camera on and talk a load of shit and put it out there to the public, because you know, you might be well received, or you might get a load of idiots saying, "No, what you're doing, you know, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're on about," sort of thing. It takes balls.
I mean, I don't know what I'm on about. You're right, but
nobody does. I mean, there's no fucking right way of doing it anyway.
Yeah, I just do it anyway. So it's
there's no such thing. There's no such thing as an expert, mate. That's
I don't.
Fucking.
It's just me give my opinions on stuff. It's more. I started more of a kind of a. It was more for me as a kind of a vid for myself. But then I'll share it, kind of thing. So I can look back on it and think, oh, I thought that about this beer then. It changes all the time, and I'll share it if anyone watches. They do. If they don't, they don't. It's no big.
Yeah, no. Again, I mean, it falls back down to that sort of different strokes for different folks. People have got their own. They've got their own vision of where they want to do and what they want to do, and fair play to them. I mean, my bread and butter of keeping a roof over my family's head is out there in the real world. This is a little bit of fun. Yeah. I'm monetized. I get a little bit of money from it.
More of a hobby kind of thing.
And that's how it'll be. I wouldn't want to. I couldn't see myself doing this as a regular thing. I'd go absolutely bloody stir crazy if I had to rely on this, and it would spoil it. It would spoil it because it would become that hamster wheel of content.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
It's not. It wouldn't be the most healthiest job in the world either.
No, it'd ruin you, mate. It'd ruin you.
You know what I mean? Or the thought that you have to do this is because this is what you got to do. Even days where you're like, do you know what? I don't want to drink today, but you've got to because this is what you do. And oh God, no! I like my days off it. I like my days off it, and I'll spread the reviews out over a few days or a week or whatever.
Yeah.
And I might review one night, might review a few more beers, and then I'll sprinkle them out until the next weekend, and then do a few more, then sprinkle them out. It looks like I'm drinking every day, but I'm not, kind of thing.
I'm about every other. It all depends on what I'm doing and what I've got to do the next day. But I have these. I sometimes have these grand ideas in my head, especially on a Friday. I'll do this beer. I'll have that beer. I'll get home and I'm absolutely knackered. I end up having a bottle of beer and that's it. I'm happy. I'm done.
Yeah. No, exactly. Just to keep it on the boil, and that's all you need sometimes. And there's some days you get the taste of it. Oh, I'm on it. You know, you just don't know when that's going to happen. Sometimes you don't fancy it. Oh, I'll have one, and then and it's like
you
Where
get
you go.
you get the taste.
It's crazy
Yeah.
how that shit works.
It's mood. It's all moods, though, isn't it? Mood orientated.
Yeah.
Company as well. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like the beers that I've had tonight. If I wasn't doing this, then I probably wouldn't have had these beers, or the you know 4 cans and a bottle.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened.
It's nice to catch up as well, you know, because we don't.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
We don't talk as much as we should do. You know, you've got you know, we've all got our kind of things going on in our lives and patterns for your work and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's nice to catch up every now and again. It's cool.
I'm open to anybody really, but I don't like to pester people. That's how I see it. I don't like to badger people and you know make them fucking fucking messaging. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think like that. I'm quite open to anybody.
I don't think anyone thinks that of you, mate. It's great to catch up with you because I do my lives not every Friday, but most Fridays. You know. Or some. I mean, I wasn't going to do one on Friday, just gone, but I ended up doing a later one. I only had a couple of beers, a couple of hours, just chin-wagging, a few people, chat, you know, and that's it. It was lovely, you know.
You're quite casual with that, though, aren't you? You just go with the flow. That's your attitude, isn't it? You go with the flow.
Yeah, you can't plan live chat, so there's no point worrying about it. Just let it go. Or if people are talking, let them talk. I'll just sit here and listen. You know, I don't mind that.
Yeah, so. You can never go in on a live thinking that you're going to get X amount of people watching. I mean, there's 12 watching now, and thank you very much because we're just fucking waffling now. But
shit, but it's just it is what it is. It's just I like
good.
That. It's just you know. This would be the same conversation if it was offline as it is now online.
Yeah,
It's not no different. It's just
other people in the mix, isn't it? Yeah.
And you know, and that's it really with me. I mean, I got into I never used to like doing the lives, but I started doing them more probably from about January onwards this year. Because I kind of needed to do it for myself. It's really helped me with like almost like a therapy, if that makes sense. Just get out there and talk to people, and it's free.
If it works,
you know,
if it's not broke, yeah.
And it's free as well, rather than talking to some weirdo that you never spoken to before, and you've got to spend so much money. It's like, fuck that. I'd rather do this, and it's definitely helped me along the way. So. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you look back to some of the past stuff that we've done together with other guys, where we've done these like 3-4 way collab reviews that we used to do years back. Me, you, Peter, and Harry, I think, were the main sort of culprits.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got quite a lot of history behind us. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it more or less the same time. And it's just I don't know, it's just nice sometimes to connect again with people that have been doing it at the same time. You know, it's good fun. It is good fun.
We had a few box shares, didn't we, round Harry's house?
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. What was it? Fucking American Pie.
just made me smile. It was fun. Fucking Cork hitting the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning and shit like that. We
did have some good sessions.
That was hilarious. That was just hilarious. Yeah. That was that 2017? I can't remember now.
I think it was 2016, and it was Yellow Belly for the first time. And you obviously bought that. You bought that big bottle of Mexicake.
Oh, that was awesome. That was good.
Oh, that was just. I mean, we really pushed the boat out with beer selections. You know,
we drank a lot.
For the first time we ever met, that was mighty fine.
We drank a lot that weekend.
God, fucking hell, it was non-stop, wasn't it?
Gosh, it's 2021 now as well. It's fucking 5 years. Can you
That's
believe
what
that's
I mean.
5 years ago? It's crazy.
But when you reminisce about it like now, it only seems like 5 minutes ago.
I know, it's nuts. but it's just crazy. But no, yeah, we'll have to do that again one day at some point.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I know Brett's been messaging me. He'd like to meet up as well, but it's just the logistics and time and fulfilling.
It's awkward. It's awkward.
It is. It's tricky. It's very, very tricky.
Well, it's become a bit easier for me now for certain reasons, but weekends at a drop of a hat, I can arrange something generally. If there's a bottle share, I'll be like, someone could tell me on a Thursday, oh, what are you doing the weekend? Do you want to come for a bottle share? I'll be like, yeah, okay then. Whereas before, it was a bit more tricky.
To work out, plan it a little bit more.
Certain things have, there has been a few things that have become a little bit easier, but generally everything else has become pretty heavy. Yeah. But we're not going to go down that road. But yeah, I'm open to meeting up. I can go to London most weekends if I want to.
I'd like to experience that. I must admit, I would like to experience a little taste of the pavements of London and going in. Yeah, well, it's just roads for me. Going through roads and doing deliveries. I've never actually had that experience of actually walking on a pavement and veering left into a boozer, and I'd love to do that. I really would.
Yeah, it's the trouble is London's so big. It's like, if you go to London, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
You've got that east side, haven't you, with the Verdon and pressure drop experiment, and
everything's so spread out.
Beer merchants.
But the thing is, you can't do everything in one day. You need an area. Where do you really want to go? Do you want to go to Beer Merchants Tap? Do you want to go to the Bermondsey, all that area? Hanspatch and Hob Day, Colonel.
Anywhere really.
Yeah.
I'm not too fussed really. It's a case of just doing something with friends, because I have missed that. I have become a bloody loner, really. I mean, I've just wrapped myself in work. I've missed that actual socializing, which I haven't done for a very, very long time. So it'd be nice to do something like that. And I'm not too fussy where, really. It's just a case of having a drink with someone. I might come across as a bit of a sad git, really, but I'm just being honest,
Well, it's work and the world we live in at the moment. It kind of, it's probably a combination of the two. Whereas with me, it's become, I need to do stuff. I need to do it. With the last 8 months I've had. 2 seconds again.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, I keep myself very busy with work. I'm always thinking about work because I'm self-employed. I have to. It's always first and foremost in my mind with what I'm doing the next day, and I'm always planning ahead and stuff like that. But to I don't know, to take the brakes off and switch off, and that is probably something that I need to do, and to do it with somebody else, like another beer reviewer, would be good. It's not the be all and end all, I do see it as, there are important things that outweigh other things, but I think we all need a bit of me time sometimes, don't we? And maybe I've neglected that a little bit. I don't know. My thoughts are the same, Dean. I hate the desperation of some channels. Go for the thumbs up and all that going to happen. Yeah, it's just not me. I just something I couldn't see myself ever doing, really.
I don't feel comfortable doing it. It's just. I'd feel embarrassed if I started doing all that. I'd be like, and it's just not me, as I said. It's just doesn't sit well with me. I
think it's just a case of just let your channel just do its own thing.
Yeah,
innit?
I'd let it go, let it flow.
Just let it do what it wants.
If it does well, great. If it doesn't, then
Yeah.
it
I mean,
doesn't matter.
I'm like you. I'm extremely grateful for the
Yeah,
following that I've
yeah,
got, and
yeah.
the and the response that it's received. I am really, really grateful. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it to come across as rude because I don't sort of like do all this all the time.
But I mean, I review and drink the beers because I want to drink and review them. Not they might not be the most. We could all go down the road of right. Buy this beer, you're going to get loads of views. It's more because, but I don't want to drink it, so I'm just. It's more what I'm kind of
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
and do it rather than
I mean, on the flip side of that,
be dictated
you,
by what you're going to get, on YouTube from it. I'm not
yeah.
bothered about that.
And my logic is with that. On the flip side, you could have a niche sort of beer, hard to get hold of beer, do a YouTube video about it, and then you open it up to other people.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
you,
mean,
you know,
yeah,
it's about sort of like pushing stuff that maybe people haven't heard of before and getting it out there. Yeah, it might not go bloody viral or get loads of views, but you might get that one person that watches it and thinks, "Oh, I'm quite interested in that. I'll have a look online and dig a little bit deeper."
yeah. That's it. I mean, there's a lot of us doing reviews now. It'd be nice to. I mean, I don't know what percentage of beer tubers, and then against what percentage of beers are out there. How much is getting reviewed out of all of that kind of probably it's probably a fraction, I would imagine. Even even with the amount, even with the amount of beer tubers that are out there now, it's probably still a fraction because there's so many breweries and beers being produced. Not everything's going to get covered. So
no, you are gonna miss a hell of a lot, and that's not down to ignorance, but just
no,
sheer amount of volume that's being pumped out on a weekly basis, more or less. And that's just in this country. I mean, if you want to sort of like reach out and be global, I mean, you ain't got a cat and mouse chance, have you?
Well, I know James does try, but I think he's more into doing a brewery rather than all their beers. A brewery, one of their beers or two of their beers, and he covers a hell of a lot of bases with that. Fair play to him, but he puts in a lot of work, research. His reviews are 25 minutes long.
Yeah,
reviews like bloody hell.
I've said before about him. To actually sit in front of a camera for 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, it's impressive.
And just keep saying stuff.
Keep fucking rattling.
That's a fucking art in itself, isn't it?
He rattles on. No, but no. Yeah, but no, in fairness to him.
Yeah, fair play.
No, he's got his style. It works with him. No one else does it. It's good.
Again, that's the beauty of it, though, isn't there? There's somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah.
You've got people like James that really, really go into the nitty gritty and pull up the floorboards and everything, and then you've got that batch of people that just roll out the review. I mean, there's somebody out there for everybody.
I mean, I'll be trying to get my reviews shorter because what I do with my reviews is I do this brewery, this beer, this brewery. They're from so and so. These are the hops in it. Let's crack it open, blah, blah. And then if there's any other information, look down below. I've got a playlist for this, that. There's a description for it. Look below. There's more info to go with the review, if you like. So that's the way I do it anyway.
It would, it would be nice to just sort of like let the reins go a little bit and just relax. It is something that I'm quite alien to be fair, and just situations, isn't it? You pigeonhole yourself into. I'm grateful that I've managed to carry on and been allowed to carry on to work when we had that full lockdown. I was never out of work or anything like that. I always had something to do, but it's become embedded into me, and I can't sort of switch off. And sometimes I need to. I think just as a human being, and just switch off and relax with somebody and have a few beers and enjoy. You know, a little bit like this, really. You know,
yeah. I mean,
it's free, freestyling. Yeah.
This has kept me going, but that interaction I've needed for for them reasons and blah blah. And and then since we've opened up a bit, it's like, I'm going to try and do stuff. Because last summer it was like we didn't do anything we could have done. We didn't. Another lockdown. So shit, we could have done something then. But now I kind of, if I get an opportunity, I'm gonna go for it. You know, you don't know what's around. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's around the corner. Just go out and do it if you can.
Yeah.
My perceptions of things have changed, obviously. So if you can do it, do it. Don't regret you didn't do it. That's the way I look at life now. So.
Yeah. If you've got something that you'd like to pursue, whether it's
just go and do it.
I don't know, visiting somewhere, trying something, do it so you can tick it off the bucket list.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, within reason.
Can't, but even if you make plans or if you've got a missus or whatever, then just say, look, down the line, I want to do this, this, and this, but then to make that more kind of possible, say, well, what do you want to do as well, just to try and cushion that blow? Obviously, it's both ways, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, or balance it out with the family, do something else with them, and then do what you want to do. Or if your missus want to go and do something, go and do it. That's all I'd say. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers, sir, mate.
Oh, cool. Fair play.
All right. How you doing, Maggie, mate? Cheers, mate. Nice one. There's some nice people in the community.
There is some really good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cheers, bud.
How you doing, mate? You're all right.
Yeah, there are some absolute bloody diamonds. There really are some gems within the community, and I can hold my head up quite high and say I've had the pleasure of either interacting or meeting with, you know.
Yeah, I'm well. All things going ahead and planned, and even if the festival gets knocked on the head, I'm still going to go to. I'm still going to go and see Raggy in August. So even if the festival goes tits up, I'm still going. So.
Well, I mean, there's something that you can do, isn't there? You know, if you. Even if it's called off, you can still do something.
I'll still go. I'm still going to go. So it's not. Or even if other festivals get knocked on the head, I'm still going to go. That whenever that is, they are. I'm still going to go anyway. So for something to do, something different, meet some people, have a chat, have a beer, have a laugh.
Talking of festivals, I watched you. I think it was you, Harry, Jake, and the pint-sized geezer.
Ollie.
Yeah, CBC when they were doing that. Yeah.
Oh, we're fucking ratted.
What happened to Harry? He fucking disappeared. What happened to him?
Well, because they were wrecked. They were proper. I mean, we were wrecked, but it's a wrong time of the festival to do that. It was towards the end of the session, so we fucking hammered it, and then it's like, why have you done it this time? It's like, well, they were sober because they were there for every session. Obviously, didn't have to pay. There's no pressure in getting on it. Yeah, we were full blown gone then. But it was
Yeah,
fun.
I watched that a couple of days ago.
God,
I've been getting into quite a lot of that stuff.
I've never watched it back. I never watched it. No, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. It'd be cringeworthy if I watched it. It'd be awful.
You shall we say you were very, very reserved?
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, you didn't say a lot from what I've seen anyway. You said what you had to say about beers and stuff like that when they were talking to you, but you little step back sort of thing with camera. I think it was all about Ollie and his smiles and funny faces and stuff.
I mean, I will do one of my own. I'm definitely going to do that this year for myself to have a walk around, bump into people and that sort of stuff. Be good fun.
I like watching what they do though.
They are good, aren't they? They are good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be completely honest. When I first got into it and I watched a few of their videos, I thought, oh fucking hell, that's proper next level shit. I'm not interested.
Oh,
but now I appreciate what they do now. To be fair, I really do appreciate what they do.
No, they're cracking. I mean, I've met Johnny a couple of times, and he's a really nice guy. It's the first time I met Brad. He was a bit standoffish because we were wrecked, which is fair dues, I'll be as well. But you come across really, they're both great. They're both really nice people.
I like when they go off and like interview brewers and stuff, because they've done a couple of beak things, haven't they, over there? Where they've gone to the brewery and interviewed the brewers and stuff like that, and sampled their beers.
They've got the kit to do it, multiple camera angles.
Yeah, it's fascinating, really. It's a good bit of
the editing is really tight and
clean, isn't it? Everything just falls into place.
Proper professional. Outfits and multiple cameras, sound, lighting, the whole 9 yards, music sometimes.
The old well, it's a full deal, isn't it?
It's proper slick stuff, and I'd love to be able to do it, but I wouldn't have the clue to put it together. The editing. No,
I wouldn't even begin to imagine where to start with it.
It would take so long.
It's just how he sort of narrates stuff as well. It all rolls off the tongue, doesn't it, for him? He just says these things, and it just comes really out naturally.
No, it's really good the way they do it. It's just, but they're quite kind of. They don't brag. They're quite.
No.
I think that's what makes it really good. I think they're not. They'll keep it. They're not show offy, or they're very grounded.
Well, I mean, they got 100 and some odd thousand subs.
Exactly.
They're doing something right, aren't they? They've got to be.
Yeah, it's really good. How you doing, Brett, mate?
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, it is a shame.
Earlier on, mate. I don't know how their other, the Barrel Age project. I don't know if that's still going or what. Whether that's dipped as well.
Yeah, I think they're still doing the Tempest stuff. I think they're still knocking that off. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
it's like a yearly thing, isn't it, that they do?
Yeah, I don't know if the quality of that's dropped. I would expect it hasn't. I just think everything else has. That'd be my guess. I don't know, but.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Again, I suppose it's once upon a time sort of brewery, isn't it? You know, this was what we got to try. But unfortunately, in 2021, this isn't. You know, it's a shame.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you get a pint of Neckall now down one of the pubs down by the seafront. Got the old glass, all that, and it's like ridiculous price. It's like £5.80, £5.90 for a pint of Neckall. It's like you're taking the piss with that. You know, it's on draft, whatever, but it's like you're a Heineken-based brewery. the recipe is not quite what it was. It's almost like watered down, and you're still charging that price. It's like, how does that work? I don't know.
I haven't. I mean, don't get me wrong on this. I haven't got a problem with big beer because I drink it.
Yeah.
When it's represented in its true form, but when it's sort of like, I don't know, hides behind the curtain, shall we say, with breweries like Beavertown that it buys, it kind of, I don't know, it pisses me off a little bit. It does piss, especially when they start fudging about with the recipe.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with takeovers. It's not the takeover itself; it's what they do to their whole brand of the brewery. It's like that pisses me off more.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to think when these guys get bought out, it's like they're having one of the biggest paydays of their life. They've got families to feed. If you was in their shoes, I wouldn't do that. You got a wife and kids or whatever. I wouldn't do that because it's principle. Bollocks. You're thinking of your family first. So I get that, and I ain't got a problem with it. It's just what these breweries have sometimes go through after, when they just ruin what their brand they had, and it just and their beers aren't the same. It's like, well,
you can just see that sort of like boardroom conversation, can't you? Almost with the chief execs at Eileken talking to Logan and saying, right, okay, let's have a look at the gamma ray ingredients. You know, the recipe.
How can we save money? Blah blah.
Let's just rip it up and go back to the drawing board and do it our way.
How can we tweak it to save money? Basically, is what it is.
Well, we can take a little bit of that out. We'll reduce that by half. We'll take that out and we'll put that in. And, you know, it's not a representation of the real McCoy, is it? Which is a shame.
I mean, I get why they do it, but and it's probably still sells. It doesn't make any difference unless you know. Then you're not bothered, like us. But but to the masses, it's getting out to more people. They're probably going to sell more. A lot of people are going to like it because they've never had it before, and that's it. We're in the minority when it comes to that sort of thing.
We've got in my town, we've got like in the shopping centre where M&S was originally. They've moved out of the town now. Again, cost cutting and all that. They've opened up like an eatery and pop up sort of places, and there's a bar in there now, and they were charging £7 for a pint of bloody Camden Ellers. Sorry, it's not. Can't fucking justify it, can you?
I forgot about Camden. Yeah.
I mean, they're InBev, aren't they? Are they InBev or?
I think so.
Cause. Molson Cause InBev. I don't know.
I think so. I don't know, but I mean that's another brewery I've done reviews of before. They went. Got another one is recently is Brixton Brewery.
Brixton, yeah.
They've been bought out. So there's a fair few breweries I've reviewed beers from before they were bought out. Magic Rock, Brixton, Camden, Beavertown.
There's quite a lot, isn't there? When you dig down, there's quite a lot of breweries that.
You forget. Shit's another one. It's like, but I've reviewed a few of their beers before they were bought out, going back like 5-6 years ago. And then you get now and again you'll get someone say, "Oh, I didn't think this beer was that anymore," and it's like they had it like yesterday, and it's like, well, no, because this was fucking 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've started doing that with my old reviews now. Now I put a year on. I put a year on the thing, just so people know that's when I had it. It wasn't like I had it last week.
Yeah. Because it's not. Yeah, people would see that. People would see that as a load of bullshit, wouldn't they? Because they think, well, hang on a minute. But they forget that you reviewed that way back when it was you were getting a real deal from it. You know.
Well, none of these beers were none of these beers were in supermarkets then. even like Vocation, a lot of their core range stuff I've reviewed before it was in supermarkets. Like, I don't know. I can't remember the name of some of their core range stuff, to be honest. Divide and Conqueror. Like, I don't know if that's still around. Heart and Dagger, is it?
Heart and Soul.
Heart and Soul, yeah.
Yeah.
Things like that are reviewed. Like, I used to go on Ales by Mail and order all their beers from there and then review them, and they were amazing back then. I think they're still okay now in supermarkets, but they're not. I don't think they were, what they are now. But anyway, yeah, interesting though. And it also depends where you are with your journey of drinking beer and stuff, or where your palate's at. We're all different as well. There's loads of little kind of things that enter into that kind of conversation. So
I used to get pretty worked up about Meantime beers as well, way back.
It's another brewery, yeah.
Yeah, when they had the old little, like, well, they were more or less them sort of bottles, weren't they? They were them shaped bottles.
I remember them, yeah.
Mini wine bottles. Yeah,
yeah. I remember them beers when they were in
Waitrose.
Waitrose, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the chocolate porter, Yakima Red.
Yeah.
I think they did a Pilsner.
The chocolate porter.
London Porter. Fucking, I mean, they were magical moments back then. I can remember having my first bottle of chocolate porter, and it was like liquid roses. It was just absolutely phenomenal.
2007, 2008 period.
Yeah,
was when I was drinking some of their beers from supermarkets.
It was fantastic. I mean, their branding was spot on, because it was minimal artwork. It was just like a little Meantime sticker with a bit of information on the back, and you had this lovely fluted mini wine bottle, and that's, to me, that was branding in itself, because it just stood out from everybody else.
I mean, I went to their tap room back in it might have even been the mid 2005 sort of period in Greenwich. It's just off
near
Cutty Sark, just round the corner.
Cutty Sark, yeah. Just off the A2, isn't it, or A20?
There's a pub on the corner near the Cutty Sark called the Moth, I think. So all their beers were in there, and then we had a few beers there, and then we cut through the I don't know, the Greenwich kind of all that building, like college and stuff. And then you go round. This is years ago. We went round there, and I mean, it was pricey back then. You think, fucking hell, but it was like legit then. It was like, they weren't bought out. We brought home some beers in a really nice kind of like carrier case and stuff like that. But they were awesome stuff. Awesome beers. Very clean. Something I remember, they were really damn clean. We had a Pilsner and a few other bits. Lovely beers. Yeah,
it's good beers back then, but
yeah.
I haven't had anything from them for a long while, but I know that they originally got bought out by Saab Miller, and then they flogged them to Asahi now, isn't it? I think they're owned by them.
I don't even know. I haven't followed the journey.
Yeah, I think it's the same guys that own Fuller's, because they bought Asahi, but literally bought
and
a lot of the Saab Miller European stuff
owned by these guys. So
and I mean they went to generic bottles. The branding, I think the branding now is awful.
Well, the reason Asahi bought out Fuller's is because they weren't happy with Shepherd brewing their flagship beer. It wasn't to what their spec, so they moved production from the Asahi lager. They moved production from Shepherd Neame to Fuller's, and they bought the brewery out. Right, you're gonna do it the way we want it. We just bought you out, so That's how that worked.
Oh, right, okay.
Apparently, that's why that's
Oh,
fairly
right.
recent. I didn't know until recently, but yeah, apparently that's why. Because it used to be
I
Fuller's
mean,
that contract brewed, Fuller's Shepherd contract brewed that.
we touched on it earlier, didn't we, about buyouts and stuff like that, and I think from what I've experienced anyway, I think Fuller's have come out unscathed with their core range of beers, where they've been allowed to sort of just crack on and make it.
And it shows. It shows.
Yeah. I mean, 1845 London Porter, I think, still solid as a rock.
I saw a bunch of that earlier, but I thought, oh, I love London Porter stuff. I don't need it, so.
Yeah, well, again, though, I mean, it's something maybe for later, isn't it? We can do legacy real ales or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's good.
But,
got a few comments there, I think, mate.
Yeah. Simplest project was there. Tequila barrel aged goes was bloody good.
Nice. Pirate Life, yeah.
Cool. Slurpee. Cheers. Yeah. I mean, that's just a ghost of its former self, isn't it, really? They completely pecked away at that beer, which is sad.
I might have known.
Yeah. Cool. Wicked. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think we're more or less coming to the end of this now. I think I'll just wait for Craig to come back on screen before I say all my thank yous and everything like that. But yeah, been a good evening, to be fair. Plenty of interaction. It's always appreciated. It just keeps the stream ticking over with conversations and stuff like that. But yeah, big thank you to Craig for taking the time to do this. Always appreciated.
That 2.5
No, you're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
2.5 hours just went like that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, actually, I thought, yeah. No, I said to the missus, I said, no, we'll only be on for about an hour or so. We're just doing 3 beers or whatever, but blown out the window.
It's great to catch up.
Yeah, been good. Yeah, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, we'll probably get around to doing something like this again with another style of beer, ale or foreign stuff, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
whenever you're free and stuff. So.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that, mate. I'm cool with that. So, yeah, thank you very much. Take it easy, guys. All the best. Cheers.
Good night.